Well, friends of the world, Maldini, here we are. We have the Immaculate Grail, with the Super Cup flag in the corner of the stadium in Jeddah, where the match is going to be played. Have you all seen the match? Obviously, we're going to analyze what this Real Madrid-Barca Super Cup final has been. Here we are doing the preview, and the great Alvaro Benito is ready. He's moving around here, and Atletico is behind him. Now we're starting. Atletico de Madrid is winning, and here we have Toño Mateo. I don't know where Carlos is, but he'll be here soon because we can't start without him, and he will definitely come, so don't worry. And this stadium that will be filled today, obviously, is a stadium, let's see. A final, a match between Madrid and Barca, is a match for football fans, for lovers of the game. As for Fibers, friends of the world, Maldini, as for Fibers, because we already have the great community of Fibers, of course, the great social network for football fans, Fibers. And tomorrow I invite you to watch the show, thanks to our friends at Fibers. At 10 p.m., Despejados, of course, with a very special guest. As always, every Monday at 10 p.m., the friends of Despejados. So with Fever, you'll see Despejados tomorrow, and we're going to analyze what this great Super Cup final has been. The great classic of Spanish football, one of the big matches in world football. Real Madrid-Barca here. Jeddah. All right, let's analyze what this great match has been. Well, this is something he always does. Jude Bellingham, friends of the world, Maldini. Here we have it very close up. He looks up there calmly like that. Here, right behind. This is the camera that's going to focus on us. Gnabry. Joshua Kimmich, one of my favorite players. I have no hesitation in admitting it. That Joshua Kimmich, this player who is coming out here for inspection on the field. Let's see if someone from Barca says hello. Let's see if someone from Barca says hello. He's around. Pablo Torre too. Well, more will come now since the players are inspecting. One of the classics of the champions is that many times we have to be careful because we don't want the irrigation to get plugged. Well, friends of the world, Maldini, here we see that there are still Barca players here enjoying this Super Cup title after the trophy presentation of the Olympic lap. The stadium is emptying out, and we've seen, well, a tremendous victory for Barca. This 2-5 against the Real Madrid that, well, I'm going to talk about both teams. Tomorrow you'll have the ratings. Also, I'm going to make two videos. One video with the ratings for Real Madrid and another video with the ratings for Barca. Well, Barca's victory, obviously, the 5-goal win for Barca. There's going to be a lot of talk about the 5-goal win. It was tremendous. It was tremendous. Barca was clearly superior. And Real Madrid, I'm going to start with Madrid and then I'll talk quite a bit. Logically. From Barca, Madrid played a really poor game from a collective standpoint. And that's despite taking the lead. 1-0. With that stunning goal from Kylian Mbappé, who, by the way, has been the best for Madrid. They took the lead 1-0 with that goal from Kylian Mbappé. It was clear that Madrid had to fall back quite a bit to defend deep because Ancelotti said so, and they had to look for space. I think Madrid is aware that against Barca, they won't be able to dominate the game. But if you're going to defend, you have to defend better. You have to defend as a unit, and you have to defend with everyone. That's the key. Because Madrid didn't defend with everyone. Vinicius, for example, from a defensive standpoint, he practically didn't exist, while Rodrigo was coming back a lot to defend near Lucas Vázquez's side. Vinicius practically did nothing. Madrid allowed a lot of interior balls, a lot of central positions. Then I'll talk a little about Tchouaméni, and Barca took full advantage of that. In fact, Madrid went up 1-0 with a goal from Mbappé, a great goal from Mbappé, in which, by the way, Vinicius isn't doing well, but, well, he crosses in front. But what a great goal from Mbappé. When Courtois had already been the best for Madrid in the first few minutes, he had saved two very clear goals. That would have been 2 goals for Barca right from the start of the match, because from the very first minute, it was clear that Real Madrid couldn't control Barca. They weren't able to defend. They were defending poorly. Barca was coming at them from all sides. Then obviously Barca had the accuracy and individual level of players who were magnificent. Like Minda, like Raphinha, the man of the match, like Pedri, like Camavinga. Even Lewandowski impressed me quite a bit. And Real Madrid, among the mistakes Madrid has made, defending poorly and defending the area very badly. Also, and especially without pressing, Madrid is a team that doesn't press well. High. But they also haven't regrouped well. Today, they also haven't defended the area well, with a pretty deep regrouping. So from that point on, Barca has practically had it easy. I mentioned it during the Movistar broadcast. In the first half, there was a succession of chances for Barca. Tremendous, one after another. It's true that after the equalizer from Yamal, which, by the way, was a spectacular play from Yamal, that penalty came. It's a mistake. Obviously, by Camadin, a serious mistake by Camadin with a clear penalty. And from that point on, Real Madrid completely fell apart. And logically, Barca played a perfect match because they hurt Madrid a lot when Madrid was sitting very deep. When it was 11 against 11, when Barca took the lead on the counterattack, they really hurt Real Madrid. Everything Real Madrid was looking for, they achieved. Barca, with plays into space for Raphinha, plays into space for Lamine, and from that point on, Madrid practically had no options. And also, I think that the fact that Szczęsny was sent off, a fair red card, by the way, when they sent off Szczęsny, it probably prevented Barca from achieving an absolutely historic result. Today, because Madrid, when you take on Madrid's football, obviously Madrid is going to try to go for the match, at least to catch up. Barca would have crushed them, as Madrid defended poorly. Szczęsny was sent off, and with one less player, Barca fell back. Madrid couldn't create danger. In the end, Szczęsny was sent off, and with one player less, Barca just limited themselves to falling back, to sitting deeper. And Madrid has been completely unable to create any danger for Barca, or very little danger. Rodrigo's goal came right during the play of Szczęsny's red card, and Real Madrid practically didn't create any danger for Barca. Barca ended up being comfortable and even friends with the world. Maldini had long ball possessions in the second half, at many moments being one player down. All of that can't be allowed for Madrid. Madrid played a really bad match, and I don't want to take any credit away from Barca. They played an almost perfect match. When they were with 10 and when they were with 11, when Barca was with 11 and when they were with 10, they played an almost perfect match. Tomorrow, in the notes, I'll talk about Tchouaméni, but I want to say something about Tchouaméni. I don't know if he's going to keep playing Ancelotti as a centre-back, but today, it was a disaster. Honestly, Tchouaméni, not just because of the mistakes in the delivery, the positioning errors, and besides, with Tchouaméni next to him, Rudiger clearly gets worse. When Asensio came on, it's true that he came on logically with the match that needs to be settled, but he really improves the center of the defense a lot, and also improves Rudiger himself. But I don't want to focus the criticism on Tchouaméni, because that wouldn't be fair. From a collective standpoint, Vinicius has hardly worked. From a collective standpoint, Madrid has been almost a disaster at many moments. Ancelotti is going to be criticized a lot, and rightly so. The poor organization, Madrid didn't know how to attack when they had one player more and didn't know how to defend when it was 11 against 11. He went to defend a lot and defended very poorly, and Barca took advantage of it. Raphinha was spectacular, sensational with the mind game. It could have even been the icing on the cake when Dani Olmo came on. He had the chance for 2-6. Practically, but they didn't see him. He was practically alone. He was about to score the 6th goal. If Yamal had scored the 6th goal, it would have been the end of the party for Barca. It's very important for Barca. Tomorrow I'll analyze both teams much more individually. But I say, a fair victory, a fair thrashing, another 5-goal win for Barca against Real Madrid. Obviously, it's very difficult to repeat that kind of results, but I don't think it's unfair. The thrashing, for me, is not unfair by any means. I'll finish with 2 reflections. Madrid needs to improve a lot from a collective standpoint, because if not, no matter how good the players are, and they are good, obviously, today, by the way, Jude Bellingham, with the team having little possession, has hardly shown up. And when it was 11 against 10 in favor of Madrid, even with a lot of possession, they still couldn't find it. I practically think he was very tired. Jude Bellingham has had the worst game that I can remember for him at Real Madrid. Obviously, they've already lost this title. They won't be able to achieve that historic season they were aiming for with 7 titles. Do they still have the most important titles left? The Champions, the League, the Club World Cup. From a collective standpoint, Real Madrid has to improve a lot to win these titles. Especially the Holy Grail, which is the Champions League. Ancelotti is going to be criticized a lot, and rightly so. Those criticisms are for Ancelotti and for Barca. Obviously, glorious night, first title for Flick. He had already played a great match against Atletico de Madrid. I never get tired of saying it. You shouldn't analyze football solely based on the results of many matches. Today it was a result of the game. The result, on the day of Atletico de Madrid, Barca deserved to win that match, and they ended up losing. Barca already played a great match that day, and today they played another great match. High pressure, very high up. Koundé said it after the match, according to Ricardo Sierra on Movistar. By the way, thanks for watching the match on Movistar. Those of you who are in Spain, of course, high pressure from Barca. I knew they had to be very aggressive. He did it. He forced Ojaro to play short. Long ball Barca. He has crushed Real Madrid. First title for Flick. Barca gets back on the winning track after some poor league matches. Not the one against Atletico de Madrid, but yes, against Las Palmas, yes, against Leganés. And let's see what happens from now on. Of course, this is going to be a huge boost for Barca, and all of Barca's problems from a footballing perspective are over. The best Raphinha, a night of glory for Barca, a 5-goal thrashing of Real Madrid, and a Super Cup title. 3rd consecutive final between the two teams. It's the second one that Barca wins. The previous one was last season. The win, Real Madrid. Very affected, Vinicius, especially affected in the match against Tchouaméni, and very affected as well. Some I can do more, but mainly I give tips. A hug, friends from around the world. Maldini, goodbye.